Okay. Hello, friends. Welcome back to Get Your Play Online. We're so glad that you're here. My name is Caylea, and for today, we are going to do a science activity. We will be extracting DNA from a strawberry. And because we're being scientists today, we're also going to experiment our DNA experiment on a blueberry and a grape. So, before we jump into our science experiment, let's talk a little bit about DNA. So, what is DNA? Maybe you've heard of DNA, but you're not sure what it is. Well, let me tell you. So, DNA is a molecule that's inside of all living things. So, it's inside of me, it's inside of you, it's inside of animals, and even plants. So, when I say a molecule, I mean something that's super small that we can't see with our own eyes, but we can see it using a scientific tool. So, what is DNA still? We know it's a molecule and we know it's inside of us, but what is it? Well, DNA has our genetic code. And so that means that it makes us us. And what's even cooler about that is that everybody has their own genetic code. So it means everybody is unique, and that's really cool. So like we talked about, we can't see DNA without using a scientific tool. But today, with our experiment, we will, and I can show you how. But like we said, even though we can't see DNA, we can see the results of DNA. And I want you to think what I mean by that statement. So, when I say we see the results of DNA, I mean that we can see it in the eye color that we have, or our hair color, or any other features. Because our DNA, we got a bit from each of our parents. And so, combined together, that makes us. And we get unique features from our own DNA, which is really awesome. Okay, so with our experiment today, we're going to start with a strawberry, and then we're going to experiment more with blueberries and grapes. So, before we get started, we want to make sure that the area that you're going to do your experiment at is clean, because you don't want it to get on any papers or any technology that you may have. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay a paper towel down. So I will grab my paper towel. I'm going to lay it out in the space where I will be working. And I will show you right here. So I'm going to work right here. Okay, so I chose a paper towel to use. In case I spill any liquids, the paper towel will catch it, but also you can lay down parchment paper, a towel, anything that you think will help keep your area clean. Okay, so let's get into our experiment, and now we're going to gather our supplies. First, we'll need 2 teaspoons of water. I have water in my water bottle right here that I will be using. And so for a teaspoon, this is what 1 teaspoon looks like. It's kind of small, and it'll say 1 teaspoon. And we'll need 2 of these for water. So we'll lay that to the side. Next, we'll need a 1/4 teaspoon, which I have right here. So see, it's smaller than the 1 teaspoon. And that's what we're going to use for our dish soap. So we will get our dish soap out of our supply bag. This is the kind that I have, but any kind of dish soap will work. Okay, our next supply is salt. Any kind of salt will work. We don't need very much. but I just have some right here in this little container. So we can set that off to the side. All right. Our next supply is rubbing alcohol. Now, with this supply, we want to be very careful, so if it gets like on our hands or anything, we want to make sure that we wash our hands before we touch anything. We don't want to touch ourselves, we don't want to touch our clothes, so we want to make sure we're being extra safe with the rubbing alcohol. And how much of that will we need? Well, we will need 1 cup. Whenever you measure out your rubbing alcohol, you want to find a measuring cup that has this little lip right here, because it'll help contain the liquid whenever you pour. All right. Next, we have our fruit. I have mine in a bag. So I have 1 strawberry, and I have 2 grapes, and I have 3 blueberries. We may not need to use all of the extras, but I brought some just in case. Okay, next, for our experiment, if you plan on doing all 3 fruits or just 1 fruit, for each fruit that you're going to extract DNA from, you'll need 1 lunch baggie. So I have 3 here because we're going to be doing 3 experiments today. But if you just choose 1, that's okay. We just need 1 baggie per fruit. Next, we will also need rubber bands. You really just need 1, but in case mine broke, I have extras. So we'll put the rubber band to the side. And it just looks like this, just a simple rubber band. We'll also need paper towels, which if you already laid down a paper towel, you'll know that we already have that. So we'll just need 1 thing of a paper towel, just 1 little slice. Right. And next, we'll just need 1 cup. So how I have it set up is I brought 3 cups because I'm going to do one fruit in each cup. Whenever you pick out your cup, it's okay that they're kind of colored like this, like mine has like a purple tint and a yellow tint, and this one's clear. But as long as you can see inside of your cup, like if something is kind of blocking the view or something, or it's not a clear glass that you can see through, try to find one that you can see through so we can see the DNA. All right, and those can be set off to the side. Okay. And the last supply we have is a fork. A toothpick also works, but I chose to use a fork today. And that's how we're going to interact with our DNA inside of our cup. Okay. So, if we take a look at our supplies here, make sure we have everything we need. We have our rubber band, our measuring cups, our big measuring cup with a lip, our rubbing alcohol, salt, dish soap, water, our cups, baggies and fork right there, and our paper towels, and most importantly, our fruit. All right. So now that we have our workstation ready to go and our supplies at hand, let's jump into the experiment. So for step 1, grab one of your baggies. And you're going to put we'll start with the strawberry. So we'll put the strawberry inside of it. So I'm going to grab my strawberry. It's okay if you still have a leaf on there. It won't hurt our experiment. But if you don't have one on there, that's fine too. After you put it in the baggie, try to put it in a corner. And then you're gonna lay it down and you're gonna try to get all the air out of the bag. And then seal it tight. You wanna make sure it's sealed really tight so our strawberry doesn't escape. So kind of go over it a few times, make sure it's super tight. Okay, now that that step is all done, our bag doesn't have any air in it, and it's sealed super tight. Next, we will start to smash our strawberry. Now when you do this, you don't want to go too hard to tear the bag. You want to do it nice and gentle, and you're going to press down just like I did, and we're going to use the palm of our hand. And you want to keep the strawberry in the corner. So you want to make sure it's all good and mashed up. Even use your fingers if you need to get some of the little pieces. But keep it all mashed up. Keep it in the corner as much as you can. So I'm just going to keep mashing and moving it all around. Try to get all those pieces in there. See how I have like a little strawberry piece right there? You want to keep mashing it, moving it around. So keep working on it. Okay. All right. See how I've kind of shook it back into the corner? Because I did get a little crazy with my mashing. It kind of went up there. But try to keep it down in your corner and keep mashing it up as best that you can. Sometimes the pieces of strawberry escapes from you. Okay. Now that we've got our nice mashed up strawberry and it's back in our corner, we're going to lay that to the side. Nice and neat, right there. Awesome job. All right, now you're going to grab the cup that you want to use. And you're going to put it right in front of you, just like that. Next, grab your water. Gotta take off my lid. And also grab your 1 teaspoon measuring spoon. So see how it's the 1? It looks like that. You want to pour in 2 of these into your cup. So I'm going to gently pour over my cup and wait for my measuring spoon to fill. And then I'll pour it in. And I'll do the same thing again. There we go. Awesome. It's okay if you get a little bit more than 2 teaspoons because this is really small. But it's all okay. See how I dripped a little and my paper towel caught it. Awesome. Okay, next we're going to add in our dish soap. So for this one, we wanted to use our 1/4 measuring spoon. So it's a lot smaller than the other one. And so I'm going to hold the spoon over my cup and I'm going to pour my dish soap into it until it fills to the top. Awesome. Then I'm going to drop it in. I might stir it just a little bit to make sure it all gets off my spoon. Good job. Now you can set that to the side. Next, we're going to add a pinch of salt. So, how do you measure a pinch? Picture it if you had a little bowl of salt in front of you, and you took your 2 fingers and you pinched some salt. That's how much salt we want to use. With my container, it's kind of hard for me to pinch inside. So I'm going to just pour some onto my fingers, just a little bit, just like that much. And then I'm going to pour it into my cup. Awesome. All right, next, you can take one of your measuring spoons and you're just going to stir on the inside. Make sure the salt gets all stirred up. It's okay if it has some bubbles too because of the soap. So this is going to be called our solution. Okay, so what do we do with our solution now? Glad that you asked. We are going to carefully open up our baggie. Okay? And now we're going to take our solution and we want to mix it with our strawberry smash here. So I'm going to gently pour it into the bag. There we go. And we'll set the cup back down. And next, you're going to reseal your baggie. Try to push some air out of it, but it's kind of hard since we have all this liquid. And next, you want your solution to mix with your strawberry. So kind of play with it in your hands for a little bit. Think of what it feels like. So it feels kind of fun. Mix it all around. Try to keep it in the corner as best you can so it really gets mixed together. So keep mixing and mixing. Awesome. Once you think it's all good and mixed, I want you to put it off to the side again. Whenever you lay it to the side, it may flatten out and move out of the corner, but whenever we pick it up again, it'll go right back to the corner. So we'll set it right there for now. Next, you're going to take one piece of your paper towel and you're going to lay it over your cup. You can use the same cup that we mixed our solution in. All right, so we're going to place it over our cup and we're going to take our rubber band that I have in my hand and put it around the cup. I'm going to do mine twice, so I put it around the cup and then I twist it and then I put it back over the lid again, just to make sure it's not going to fall off. Now, so it kind of looks like this. So I'm gently going to take my fingers and press in a little bit at the top of the cup. Good, see, just like that. How it has an indentation here? That's how your cup should look. Awesome. Just press it there just a little bit more. Awesome. Okay, so now we're going to take the contents of our strawberry smash and our solution, and we're going to pour it into our little hollow space right here. So, get it into one corner again. Open up your baggie gently, and then you're going to pour it onto your paper towel. Awesome. We can get rid of our baggie because we won't need it anymore. Put it off the side. So now you can kind of see how our solution in our strawberry mash is dripping through the paper towel. So the paper towel is acting like a filter. So it's keeping the big chunks of strawberry up. We want just the remaining bit. You can take your finger and gently move around the solution so you can try to get more liquid to drip. So keep moving the big chunks around so we can get to all the liquid that we want. I'm going to take out my big leaf here so then it's not in the way of my strawberry. Think about too how this feels. Feels really cool to me. Kind of like soup, where it's liquidy but there's stuff inside. It's so fun. This step may take up to a minute just because we're letting it filter through and we're going to get the good stuff that we need from the strawberry. So while we let that sit, we can go ahead and discard our baggie. You can put that away, throw it away, get rid of it. All right. It's okay if you don't have a lot of liquid at the bottom. As you just try to get as much as you can from our solution and our strawberry mash. Like mine is tending to get less liquidy at the top and it's leaving just the strawberry smashed parts behind. So see, how it's just kind of the bigger parts now instead of more liquid. That's okay. So if you're going to gently move it around, be super gentle because you don't want to tear the paper towel. Okay. Wipe my fingers off. After you sit with it and move it around, if you feel like you have enough liquid and you want to continue on, you can continue on. So, gently start to take your rubber band off from around your cup. And move that to the side. You're going to make this a super easy cleanup because you're going to take the sides of your paper towel and fold it up. And see? Super clean. Now we can discard this too. You can throw it away. So now we're left with this little liquid here. So, what next? Oh, well, here is where we get to the super fun part. So we have our solution. We're going to take our measuring cup next. It doesn't have to be this big, but it's really easy if it has the lip. And this is the only one I have with the lip. So we're going to take our solution and we're going to pour about 1 cup of our solution into here. We're going to measure it out. Keep measuring, keep measuring. Awesome. So that's about 1 cup in there. So it's up to my 1 cup line. So I can show you how it says 1 cup right there. I'm kind of holding it so you can't tell that it's all the way there. All right. And now we're just going to pour it into here. You don't even have to stir. Okay. So now, get at a good angle where you can look down and see inside of your cup. And what I notice is that there's this white string coming from the bottom. And you should see the same thing too. You might see a few bubbles inside, and that's okay. So while I'm looking at it, I'm trying to decide what it is I'm looking at. And surprise, that's DNA. You can see it. Yeah. So that's DNA. So mine had a lot. And it also could be because I had a big strawberry. So I'm looking at it. And now I'm going to take my fork. And I can interact with it. I can see how it kind of moves. And I can pull it up with my fork. And if I pull it out, it kind of looks like an ooey gooey mess. See it? That's the DNA I pulled out. Now, you can even touch it with your fingers and try to decide what it feels like. And it feels like gel to me at first. But then I touched it too much, and now it's gone. So be careful whenever you touch it. But I like to interact with it because this means this is what made the strawberry. So whenever it grew, it contained all of this DNA inside of it. And the DNA determined if it was going to be a big strawberry, a small strawberry, a more tough strawberry, or even a little more squishy one. So this is what determined what the strawberry is going to turn out like. And that is so cool. Look at it, it's on my fork. Awesome. So we can set our strawberry DNA off to the side. And next, we're going to use a grape because we are big scientists today. And we're going to do all this all over again. So pick out your grape. I'm just going to use 1 grape. I'm going to get my baggie again. Put it in the corner of my baggie and press. all of the air out and seal it really tight, like how I did for the strawberry. So when you have the air out and it's sealed super duper tight, you are going to mash it up. So I squeezed this grape with my fingers first, then I'm going to lay it down and mash it up with the palm of my hand again. Remember, we're using this area of our palm. So keep mashing it up, mashing it up. I'm going to see if I can get more light in here. It's getting dark because we're going to have storms here. There we go. Okay. So, if we can compare it to what our strawberry looked like, compared to a grape, we don't have much mash. So it's very different. And that's cool because a grape is a grape and a strawberry is a strawberry. But we can compare and contrast our fruit. So this is what my smashed grape looks like. It didn't take as long for me to smash this as well because my strawberry was bigger and the grape is smaller. So I've got it all mashed and ready to go. And I put it back into my corner. I set it down. Next, I'm going to use my purple cup for my grapes. Okay, so like our steps earlier, grab your 1 teaspoon measuring spoon, grab your water, hold it over the cup, and then pour. Wait for, oh, see mine went over a little bit, and that's okay. And then pour again, and pour again. Next, grab your 1/4 teaspoon measuring spoon and grab your dish soap, hang it over your cup and pour until it's at the very top. Oops, there's a few bubbles in mine. And pour it into your cup. You can still use your spoon to really use the water to get all of the soap off your little measuring spoon. Okay. And next is our pinch of salt. Remember, we didn't need a whole lot, just about that much. Let's sprinkle it into your solution. Okay, again, you can just use one of your measuring spoons and stir your solution really good. Get it all stirred and mixed, mixed, mixed. All right. And our next step again was to gently open our bag and pour our solution with our grape. And set our cup down. All right. Gently try to push as much air out as you can out of your baggie. And then make sure you seal it tight, really good. And we mix. We mix and we mix and we mix and we mix. So, I remember whenever we mixed our strawberry mash with our solution, and I felt like I had more strawberry than solution. But now looking at it, it looks like I have more solution than I do grape. So my grape was small. But you want to make sure it gets really good and mashed up. Cool. Set that to the side again and lay it down. And remember, we're going to grab a piece of our paper towel and gently place it over our cup. And remember, you can use the same one that we mix our solution in. So put it over the cup, grab a rubber band and tie the paper towel to your cup. And again, I tie mine twice around just to make sure it stays in place. Good. And then make sure we gently push with our fingers so it creates a little hole for our solution and our mash to go inside. So it's all there and ready to go. Next, we get out our mash and solution. And we pour it into our paper towel. So for this one, I want to keep comparing it to the strawberry. So this one, we have a lot more chunks left over. See how many chunks I have left over? But most or almost all of the liquid was able to go through. Maybe that's because we have less chunks than the strawberry did because the grape is smaller. So think about different things like that. All right. Take your baggie and throw it away. You don't need it anymore. And now, you don't really have to let this one sit because all of my solution's gone. So I'm going to take my rubber band off. And just like before, we fold our paper towel up, like so, and we throw it away. So now we have that mixture again. And I'm going to take my cup. I'm going to fill it, full. I'm going to put about 1 cup in again. I ran out, but I have extra. So I'm going to take this off. Measure about 1 cup. I'm going to pour it back into our solution. Now look at the bottom. So it's very different. I can't see any strands of DNA. So when comparing it to our strawberry, and all my DNA now, since I've let it sit, it's all at the top of my cup. You can see it in there. It's all at the top. Let's think about this. Why do we think that the strawberry worked, but there's no DNA for a grape? Because we know a grape is a living thing, so it has DNA. Maybe it's because the grape is really small, so it makes the DNA smaller, so we can't see it as much. Because maybe it's floating around in there. I have a lot of floaties. So maybe it's the floaties. Or maybe just because the strawberry was bigger, but also the strawberry has a lot of seeds on the outside. So whenever we compare the two fruits, they're very different, but they're also alike. But we see a difference here because we can see more DNA, where in this, it's just little floaties. So it's fun. Let's do one more, and we'll do it with our blueberries. And then we'll compare all three. So, for this one, I'm going to use more than one blueberry. So I have 3, I have 3 in my hand. And we'll see if that makes a difference. So put it in your baggie, press all the air out, and seal it tight. And then mash it, just like we have been. This is what I really like about science, is that we can do multiple experiments with things that are similar, but yet very different. So we're using 3 fruits, and that's similar because they're all a part of the fruit category. But what's different now is that they're different types of fruit, and we're going to learn different things about them. So see, with our blueberry, we got it all nice and smashed. And with 3 of them, there's not as much liquid compared to the grape or the strawberry. And there's a lot of skin left. We see a lot of skin with the blueberries. Now, why do we think that is? We don't have to peel a strawberry. We don't have to peel a blueberry to eat it. But we wonder why the skin is left. When on the grape, there wasn't a skin. And even with the strawberry, there wasn't any. So it's all in how they're different and how they're alike. So again, we set that off to the side. I'm going to grab my last cup. It's my kind of yellow tinted cup. And again, I'm going to hold my 1 teaspoon over it. Pour 1 teaspoon of water. And 2 teaspoons of water. Okay, and next again is my 1/4 teaspoon of dish soap. And then mix it up just a little bit. Mix, 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 mix. Now off to the side. And my pinch of salt. Put on my fingers. Little pinch, and put it into the cup. Again, I'm just going to take my spoon and mix it up. Okay. Now, we're going to mix it with our blueberries. And pour it in. Woohoo! I bet you all are experts now at this. If you decide to do all 3 and mix it around. Oh, fun. Look, mine even changed color. Mine went into a purple color. None of my other ones changed color. They stayed the same color as the fruit. With this one, I kind of had a yellow pinkish mixture, but now it's kind of a deep purple. And that's super cool. Awesome. Lay that off to the side. Lay it down. All right. Grab another strand slice of your paper towel. Set it over your cup and tie it with your rubber band. Again, I like to do mine twice to make sure that the paper towel stays in place. And I press down in the middle so it catches all of my solution in my mash. So yep, just like that. So now I'm going to pour in the mash and solution onto our paper towel. And now we can throw away this baggie. So for this one, looking at it, there's still the skins inside, but I also have a fair amount of liquid. See? It's becoming more filtered. So whenever it gets all the way filtered, it'll leave me with just the skins. And I'll have all of my liquid in my cup. So like with our strawberry and our grape, I'm just going to gently push my finger around. So I try to get all of the liquid up there as best that I can. I'm just going to keep mixing it around and keep pushing it and pushing it. And already looking at the liquid that we have in the bottom of our cup. So I'll turn it so you can see. So we have much less compared to the strawberry, but I would say we have more than the grape. So you just keep kind of pushing around, try to get all of the solution and mash filtered through so we can work with as much as we can. Keep filtering it. Remember to be really gentle. Since the paper towel is wet, it can easily tear. We don't want that. Awesome. Okay. I think mine is all good and filtered. So again, I'm gently taking off my rubber band and folding up my paper towel. Just throwing that away. So now I've got our solution and our mash. Again, I'm going to pour in 1 cup of my rubbing alcohol. So it's about 1 cup. And now I'm going to pour it in to our solution. So now whenever I look at my blueberry solution, instead of like how the strawberry, you can compare it to the strawberry again, it's all settled to the top now, oh no. So it was white at the top. Now when I'm looking through this, it has that tint of purple like how we saw in our mashed bag. So I'm gonna take my fork again, wipe it off just a little bit. I'm just gonna, again, play with it, see how much I can pick up. See? There we go. So I see that there's less DNA that I can see than whenever I compared it to my strawberry. My strawberry had a lot. But whenever I look at it, it looks the same on my fork. Maybe I can feel it a little bit. And it kind of has that same gooey feeling at first, and then it goes away whenever I touch it more. So it feels similar, but it looks different. These all strands just look smaller to me. You can see them inside of there. They have the bubbles at the top of them. So they don't reach up as high to the top as the strawberry did. But they're way more noticeable than our grape. Our grape just had the floaties, and now they're kind of gone. So looking at our 3 solutions here, let's see if I can find the light again. There we go. I apologize for the light. So we see we still have our DNA at the top from our strawberry. I was able to pull that out. I'll put it back in though because we want to look at it. Oh no, but it's stuck. Okay, then we'll apply it. Feel it in my fingers. I can even pull it apart a little bit. So this is what makes the strawberry a strawberry. And like how we talked about the different DNA of the grape and the blueberry, that's what makes it either a really hard blueberry, a really soft grape, or maybe even it makes it a purple grape or a green grape, or mine has a yellow tint to it. So that's what their DNA means, is that it's going to pick out the toughness or the softness or the color on the outside and different things like that. That's what DNA is. And so for you and me, like you can see me, I have really brown eyes and I have red hair. That's because that's what my DNA and my genetic code made for me. And you may not look the same as I do, and that's okay because that's your own genetic code, and that is super cool. So take a look at this one more time and compare your different solutions, like the scientist that you are. And there we have it. That is our extracting DNA experiment. I hope you all had a lot of fun here today at Get Your Play Online. We have another live activity this afternoon, so you should totally check it out and check out all of our other activities too. All right. Bye.